So as I began my investigation into my family history, at one point I found an incident that my fourth great-grandfather had done, and I thought, oh, Lord, I'd love to write a book about that. I could even imagine my own father, who had been a cavalry officer in World War I, doing exactly the same thing, a cold-blooded deed that was totally against common sense. So Captain Silas Hamilton, during the burning of Danbury, or rather at the burning of Danbury, which had not quite happened yet, realizes that he had a piece of cloth down at the cloth fuller's in downtown Danbury. Captain Hamilton lived in the country, so he was not able to sell things or have anything done to his cloth without taking it into town. And this cloth was still at the cloth fuller's, whose name was Major Taylor. And he just saw Major Taylor in a cart. By the way, this Major was actually the man's name. This was not a military rank. And he has just seen the cloth fuller, Major Taylor, with his wife and his crippled mother-in-law and his child fleeing out of Danbury. And he knows that there is going to be wholesale looting going on. He wants to get this cloth, and he wants it bad. And he suddenly thinks, I could get it myself. They can already tell that the British are coming into town. In fact, they are already there. In fact, they are already by the house where he is going. So he gallops as fast as he can on his mare down to this house, jumps out, runs inside, grabs his cloth, and jumps back on the mare again and starts out Main Street of Danbury. Well, he wants to make sure that the cloth stays on there, and so he's got a little tie, just like Western saddles have, because people had to tie things onto their saddle to even get the groceries home. And so he kind of ties this on as well as he can while he's just starting this ride. And he starts hell for leather out Main Street, heading for the bridge that will lead him out of town. And three mounted hussars of the British forces see him and think, oh boy, here's something we can chase. They're just like greyhounds seeing a rabbit. And they come after him as fast as they can go, and they've got top horses. Well, he's just on an old mare that he's had, and there is no way that he can outrun them. And one of them has drawn his saber already and has it over his head, and he says, got you now. Now, supposedly, fourth great-grandfather Silas said, not yet, but he reaches back and lets the cloth loose, and the cloth flies up from the back of this galloping horse, flies up in the air into the faces of the pursuing three mounted officers. Well, anybody that knows horses knows what happens if something comes up in your horse's face. They reared, they plunged, they dived, and he lashed his horse again, and the old mare took off because, hey, the cloth frightens her as well as it frightens anybody else. And he gets partway to the bridge, sees a left turn, and out he goes into a confused mass of lanes and byways. And the troopers know when they're beaten, and they think they also now look really stupid in front of the other British, and so they turn around and go back to town. And that is Captain Silas Hamilton.